Carl Jung uncovered a chilling truth about narcissists that often catches people off guard. When they realize they can no longer manipulate you, they don't just walk away quietly. Instead, they unleash one last, ruthless tactic that can undo years of personal growth in mere weeks. If you're unaware of it, you'll fall straight into their trap. But before revealing this final, twisted maneuver, it's crucial to understand the psychological game leading up to it. Jung stated that what narcissists dread most isn't being left or ignored. It's the moment their victim surpasses them in psychological strength. Jung's studies on the shadow self revealed that narcissists project their own flaws onto others to maintain a facade of superiority. But once you begin healing, setting limits, and stepping out of their control, it triggers something deep in their psyche. Jung referred to this as the crisis of power reversal. And what follows is truly disturbing. You see, narcissists aren't after love, they're after control. They crave a source of emotional energy to feed their fragile sense of self. Jung explained that these individuals operate from an inflated ego, a mental state that demands constant dominance to keep their inner void hidden. When you were vulnerable, uncertain, or craving their approval, you perfectly fulfilled their need for validation. But as soon as you reclaim your power, trust your own voice, and stop seeking their acceptance, you threaten the very core of who they think they are. That's when they reach for the weapon Jung warned about. Narcissists, he said, resort to psychological projection warfare once their grip on you weakens. They go beyond gaslighting and victim playing. Instead, they strike directly at your individuation process, your growth into your true self. Here's how it plays out and why it's so harmful. They begin by attacking the very strength you've built. Where they once mocked your flaws, they now turn your growth against you. Jung observed this shift, noting that they see your strength as the final obstacle to total control. Suddenly, you'll hear things like, "You've changed, and not for the better. You used to be so kind, now you're just selfish. You've let success go to your head. You act like you're above everyone now." And here's the most chilling part Jung identified. This isn't casual insult. His analysis of narcissistic behavior revealed that they target exactly those parts of you that you fought hardest to heal. If you've learned to set limits, they'll accuse you of being heartless. If you've found your voice, they'll label you confrontational. If you've gained confidence, they'll say you're full of yourself. Jung described this as strength shaming, a tactic meant to make you feel guilty for developing the qualities that liberated you. But their most manipulative move is still ahead. Carl Jung found that when strength shaming fails, narcissists turn to something he identified as nostalgic manipulation. They begin reminiscing about a version of you that was easier to influence. "Remember when you used to laugh at my jokes? You seemed so much happier before those self-help books. I miss how you used to be. Our relationship was great before you changed." According to Jung, this is a form of psychological time travel, intended to lure you back into outdated behaviors. They're not longing for your authentic self. They're craving the version of you they could control. And if you're not vigilant, you may start to miss that version too. But here's where Jung's insights become even more unsettling. When both strength shaming and nostalgia don't work, narcissists employ their most manipulative tool, manufactured vulnerability. Carl Jung observed that narcissists are highly skilled at identifying your deepest empathy and using it to manipulate you. Just when you're strongest, they suddenly appear weak, overwhelmed, or in crisis. This is the deceit Jung warned about, and it's darker than you might expect. They'll stage a crisis, a sudden illness, financial problems, family conflict, or emotional collapse, and they'll time it precisely to match your moment of clarity and power. According to Jung, this is no accident. It's intentional. Jung discovered that narcissists track what triggers your guilt, what sparks your need to help, and what gets you to drop your defenses. They twist your compassion into a weapon against your recovery. And here's the part that will shake your trust to the core. Jung found that narcissists often create the very problems they want you to fix. They'll sabotage their jobs, relationships, or health to engineer a crisis. one that makes you feel morally compelled to step back into their lives. Jung explained that this tactic has a dual purpose. It drags you back into the caregiver role, and it reassures them they still hold sway over you. But Jung revealed something even darker. They don't just want your help. They want you to trade your strength for their comfort. Carl Jung noted that narcissists will specifically urge you to violate the boundaries you've worked so hard to set. I know you don't usually lend money, but this is different. I know you need space, but I really need you now. I know you're focusing on yourself, but can't you just help me this once? According to Jung, every "just this once" is designed to chip away at the psychological protections you've built. They're not really asking for help. They're testing whether you'll still put their needs above your own. And if you give in, Jung warned, everything you've worked so hard to build could crumble. Carl Jung explained that the danger of manufactured vulnerability lies in how believable it feels. The narcissist may truly be in distress, but Jung found they're skilled at selecting which crises to reveal and when. They could reach out to others, use other options, but they choose you because they know you're the most likely to abandon your boundaries for their sake. So, how can you defend yourself against this final trap? According to Carl Jung, it comes down to something he called differentiated compassion. You can care deeply about someone's pain without feeling obligated to fix it. Jung said, "The greatest gift of your lifetime is to become your true self." So when a narcissist tries to drag you back into past roles, even during a crisis, ask yourself, does helping them support my journey to authenticity, or is it holding me back? Jung's last revelation about narcissists may forever shift how you relate to others. He discovered that narcissists fear your strength because it reflects the growth they gave up, trading it for manipulation and control. When you choose to stand tall rather than shrink for their comfort, you're not only protecting your energy, you're demonstrating what's possible when someone chooses authenticity over approval. And that's exactly why they'll do everything to keep you from rising. But here's what Carl Jung wanted you to remember. Every time you resist their pull, every time you stick to your boundaries despite their staged crisis, you're not just saving yourself. You're proving their influence was never real power. Jung said that true strength isn't about never being manipulated. It's about seeing the manipulation, calling it by name, and choosing yourself anyway. Because in the end, their obsession with controlling you only reveals how powerful you've become. Their final trick only works if you forget your worth. But once you recognize it for what it is, a last-ditch attempt to regain dominance, you understand that their manipulation is the clearest sign of your liberation. Carl Jung discovered that true life begins the moment you're no longer easy to control, and no artificial crisis, no matter how real it seems, is worth surrendering that freedom. Thanks so much for staying until the end. If this message resonated with you, be sure to subscribe and share it with someone who might need to hear it.